7:09?
Yep.
Okay. We took care of the appointment of new trustees, so first item is public input. Any input from the public? Next item is Mr. Paul Mays. Welcome back.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure.
I apologize for walking in late. As I was saying, I thought the meeting was in Normansville, so I've been sitting in the foundation meeting. And more fool me, now I'm a sponsor for the event. So I can do the foundation. Yeah. Anyway.
Great. All right. You want to come up and talk about, I guess, the timeline is our biggest issue right now?
Well,
Or whatever you want to talk about.
Overall, the purpose of tonight's meeting is to keep things moving regarding the capital project.
Okay.
I've had conversations with Tim and Margaret from the library, as well as the library's attorney and insurance provider. Those are really the crucial issues in terms of getting the contract or the agreement between the owner and the architect settled to everyone's satisfaction. We've used, and I think...
Could you stand there so that people at home
Oh,
can
certainly.
see you better?
I apologize.
Hear you better?
So what we've used is a standard AIA contract. It's called a B-132. It's a contract between the owner, being the library, and the architect when there is a construction manager, which is the intention of this project. That's what we've been discussing all along. The contracts prepared by the AIA are typically done by industry peers, so contractors, construction managers, attorneys, as well as architects. And they tend to reflect the current standards in terms of the relationship and their industry standards in terms of the terminology used. They're also a coordinated set of documents, meaning that the terms used in the owner-architect contract will then match the terms in the owner-contractor contracts and the owner-construction manager contract. So it's a suite of agreements, if you will, that are all tied together, and they can be modified as your attorney has requested certain modifications. And you will see, I believe everybody received a copy, or I had sent these at least early enough to go into your packets in case there were any questions. But in essence, we've had two back and forths with the attorney. The attorney suggested a series of edits. I accepted probably, Margaret, 90% of them.
Mm-hmm.
I just said, yes, we'll do that, we'll do that, we'll do that. There were 2 or 3 particular items that we went back and forth on the language, particularly regarding indemnification, but we reached a mutual agreement that satisfied the attorney and your insurance provider regarding professional liability insurance and general liability insurance. So this is the final document with all of those edits included, and it establishes the relationship between our firm and the library through the course of the project. One thing to note is there's already an agreement in place for another component of the project. So if you recall, because we plan to apply this autumn for a DLD grant, a Division of Library Development grant, there's a piece of the project that's on a fast track, and we already have a contract in place. We've already been working on that, and that has to do with the skylights, the building envelope, and some other components. But the rest of the project is established here, so we're really going to run the 2 contracts concurrently, and we will most likely bid them concurrently as well. You'll get a more efficiency by having contractors doing all the work at once. But in order to enable you to achieve the grant monies, we wanted to make sure that we had that piece in place first. So really, I didn't have a presentation prepared. I was asked to come here this evening in case there were any questions regarding the contract or any components of it. The timeline is something that will continue to develop, and in this case, it's particularly sophisticated in the sense that we have to coordinate it with what the school is doing. If we're using the same construction manager, and that seems to be the intent, the efficiency of scale you get by using that construction manager may also mean that we want to coordinate when projects happen so that their site supervision services are done at the same time. So, are there any questions? Has anyone reviewed it or asked anything?
It's been emailed to most of you. I don't know about the 2 newest members, if you've seen it.
I haven't.
But I believe everyone else has been emailed. And as we said, our attorneys have reviewed it. They did quite a bit of back and forth, from my understanding.
It was collegial though. It
Yeah,
wasn't confrontational.
yeah.
But no, we arrived at language that was acceptable to the attorney, but also from our perspective, it's not just acceptable to me, but to my professional liability insurance provider. And that's important, not because I'm trying to protect a liability company, but because if the worst were to happen and you were to pursue us, you want to make sure that it's an insurable provision. I'm not rich enough to go after. So you want my insurance company to make sure that they cover these things. So we did reach language that was acceptable to all parties fairly quickly.
So we're gonna approve this contract. Are there any questions?
No question, but a comment. A big thank you for all the time that you spent with us and all the guidance that you gave us. I think it made a world of difference, and we really appreciate it.
I thank you for saying
Thank
that.
you.
I can't tell you how proud I was when the results came in,
Yes.
and I just said this is going to be terrific for Gilbert. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just
Yes.
want to add that you were excellent at the community presentations,
Oh.
and I'm positive that you played a very significant role in getting the bond issue passed.
Thank you. That's kind of you. We do have a project that I sent a quick little runaround. If anyone is interested from the committee or from the board, it's a little ways away. It's like a 2-hour drive, but in Goshen, New York, we just opened a new library, and it has some elements that are very similar to what we're doing here. If anyone's interested in a site visit, I'd be happy to give you a tour. It's one of the larger libraries, and so it comports to some of the things you're doing. I wouldn't take you to a one-room library that we do in some places, but we'll talk about that with the committee. We do have a committee meeting tentatively scheduled in mid-August. August 14th, and I haven't heard back about that, but I've got it in my calendar, but I think that's pretty much where we're set. And there will continue to be a process as we go along, so feedback, and I would anticipate coming before your board a couple times between now and the end of the year as well, just to give you updates. Maybe not every month, but every second or third month.
We enjoy seeing you, but we appreciate you will see maybe a little less than before the bond vote.
Well, apparently you're going to see me at the September event now, so. So teach me to go to the wrong room. So if there are no questions, as I say, the execution of this is typically done by the board president or by the library director at your discretion, depending on your policies. So, all right. Thank you all very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Paul. I do have it here, right? I remember you gave it to me. Okay, so, any questions or any discussion?
I probably just abstained from the vote just because I
Makes
haven't had a
sense.
chance to read it.
Makes total
See
sense,
it.
probably likewise for you too, Phil. Makes total sense. Okay, so is there a motion?
Motion to approve the Butler Roland Mays contract.
Seconded by Peter. All those in favor? Abstentions? Kathy and Phil? Okay, all right, it's adopted. Now I'll sign it. I have one with your signature on it. Is this the one that you would like me to sign? It's a copy of your signature though.
Oh, it's probably an electronic copy.
Yeah.
I'll bring some originals down.
Okay, fine.
And then, what I would typically do is we'll both execute 3.
Okay.
You'll keep one for your records, we'll keep one for our records, and then one for your attorney as well.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'll make sure, I'll either mail or drop off a hard copy.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Sounds good to me.
And we've already started moving on it to make sure there's no delays, but I anticipated that we'd be in good shape.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming all the way out here.
Did I excuse myself?
Yes. Yes. You are good.
I've accomplished 2 meetings tonight, so I'm
Don't go into any more wrong rooms.
That's right.
Go out.
Who knows what'll happen.
There might be another
Thank you
meeting.
all. Have a good evening.
So, finally to the treasurer's report. Yeah, you can do it from there.
So, I'm gonna go over the income statement. If anybody has questions about anything else, let me know. So you can see there's a shortfall in the tax levy. There's also a section, the third to last category, says refunds on tax assessments, which that says 0. That section really is the refund on the tax assessment, that $9,798.99. So,
And that is when people challenge their assessment.
right. There's
and-
obviously more
Yeah.
challenges this
Yeah, 'cause
this
there
year
was a
because
big-
of the
Yeah. Evaluation.
change in assessments. So
Okay.
usually we don't have much of anything or nothing in that column, but this year because of people challenging more issues. The interest, we received $30,000. And next year's budget, we did budget for 24,000. It's not really exactly how much we get for the year, but figuring it's a lot more than 9, we made a guesstimate at 24,000. So, doing well in the interest with those latter CDs.
Yep.
Look at book sale income, and very good year for book sale income at $28,000. Again, the budget was 18,000, so we were 10,000 over budget in those sales. We did increase that in next year's budget to 20,000. So that's conservative, but
Easy Pass revenue, it looks like we don't, I guess it's too early. Or no, this is for.
this is the whole year.
Yeah, so then, well, I guess we haven't sold any Easy Pass?
We have, that we received income of $684.
Let's see.
But budgeted was 1,000. Am I looking at this? Different things you have? You have ending May. I don't know why. You're looking at the chart that I have. You have the one ending in June?
Probably somewhere here in my paperwork.
Maybe it's over here.
I got, this is probably it. This is
Yeah,
it.
that's-
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, now I see it.
So it's probably just 1 month you were looking at, just for May.
Right.
So Chris, that 684 is our commission, so we make $4 on every.
Right.
Well, it's not the sales, total sales. it's
Right,
just the commission.
right. So that was a total guess in the budget of 1,000. And 684 is pretty good, actually. It's $4 a Easy Pass.
The 600 oh, it's not the May one, you said. So
Yeah, it's only one ending June, so we're going over year long. Any other issues regarding revenues? Any other questions regarding revenues?
Okay, June.
No, I'm good with revenue.
Yeah.
Let's move on to expenses. New York State retirement was over, you can see, by $52,000. That was a one-time issue where we had some issues that were rectified from the past, and we had to pay extra this year, so that won't be an ongoing amount. New York State disability, that's just the disability payments. It looks like they went up this year, and it's based on how many employees we have. So next year's budget, we kept it the same, but I think in future years, we're obviously gonna have to raise that by 5,000 or something. Material supplies were up, and next year's budget, we kept them at
Were
20,000.
there more workers' compensation claims than we expected?
Workers' compensation?
Yeah, that's up, $1,308 over what we budgeted.
It's roughly, I mean, that's roughly a pretty good guess, I'd say. But we did raise it to 17 next year.
And that's just premium, that's not.
That's the
bonus.
premium?
Yeah.
That's just the
And
premium.
that's based on information from the insurance fund, or?
It's based on salaries and classifications of, so we have 3
Okay.
classifications of workers here, so it depends on,
Have their payroll auditors been in to check?
we were just audited. When was that now? May, I think we were audited, and we're scheduled, well, that was for 2018, actually.
And
for 2019 now, I have an audit.
Is that what is responsible for the increase, the audit?
No, actually, we did well on the audit, and it went down a little bit, so it wasn't great. But it's just they keep raising those rates, because they're based on the salaries. And we added another maintenance employee in 2018, full-time employee, so that increased the wages for that classification, so that's. what
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna flip the page.
Can you talk about consulting fees on the flip page?
On the flip page. So consulting fees, what wasn't included in that was the heat pumps consulting fees.
Okay.
So that was, that's not in here because that is something that was, what's the term? It's capitalized.
Oh, okay.
It's capitalized, so it's not in this. I did get Carol to give me that information though.
Sure. Thinking ahead.
Yeah, so I have it here somewhere. There it is. Those consultant fees were a little over $47,000 for the heat pump project. So technically, if it's capitalized, it's not in here,
Okay.
but you could consider it coming out of that.
Okay.
And I think some of that was preparing for the library.
Yeah, how does
But that's
the,
capitalized as well.
okay, how does the Butland and Mays contract we just did, does that factor into this amount at all?
That was actually expensed to, the consulting fees. So the
Okay.
numbers you see in the consulting fee, that was Butler Mills.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Consulting fee now is Butler.
And the fees going forward are part of the whole.
Oh, there, all right.
Yes, they're in there, so they won't be part of the, budget.
Okay, 'cause there's a pretty big, obviously, no variance this year.
Yeah, and I think because we're preparing for.
Yeah, okay.
We probably should have put, rather than have a big point of that 200,000 in the consulting fees, we probably should have put it in capital improvements, so it should have been classified in a different area.
Okay.
It's just kind of a allocation of revenue.
Okay.
If you look at the auditor, professional fees auditor, you can see that's over budget. The reason for that was they did extra work in the reclassification. A couple things that they did extra work, and it won't be going forward, that price should be in line with $15,000.
We changed the government accounting.
Right, the government accounting.
About utilities, seems like we're a little over on that, 10% over. Is that, do we expect that going forward?
Yes, next year's budget, we budgeted for 50,000.
Perfect.
Um,
Did we just under budget expecting more from the solar power and
I
stuff?
I think that's what it was.
Okay.
I don't recall.
Haven't seen,
But it did go, utilities did go up. Yeah, we were expecting more. I think we were expecting more of a return from like LED lights and things like that.
Plus it was a longer and colder winter this
Yeah,
past
which
year.
could have increased it.
yeah, I think we were trying, we put all these energy efficiencies went in and went way down, they were like, oh, great, but I think it was also, must have had milder winters too, so we didn't
Yeah,
quite
so
get
we
it
cut the
right.
budget a little too
Yeah,
much,
yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as it
We
was
did increase
rectified,
it. We did, yeah. Took care
let's
of
see
that.
at the top of it.
Just note where it says that we had no expenditures for capital improvements. Obviously, we did have expenditures for capital improvements, but they're, again, capitalized, so they don't go in the budget. And some of those expenses are in the balance sheet. If you look at the balance sheet, it shows the heat pumps. This is like three-quarters of the way down the balance sheet. Heat pumps, $262,000.
Yep.
Some of that, I think that's what was expended total without the grants, right? We also received grants to offset that, but that's what the total cost was. Any questions on the income statement?
Nope, guess not.
Okay,
All right,
that's all I got.
outstanding. It's a great first treasurer's report. Appreciate it. Hopefully there won't be too many more. Okay, can I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report for May and June?
I'll make the motion.
I second. Caitlin, second by Jason. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's adopted. Next is the check registry. I'm sure you've all had a chance to look over it. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the check register for June and July 2019 as presented.
Is there a second? Seconded by Peter.
No, Barbara.
Oh, by Barbara.
Barbara, okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, adopted.
What, did we get an ad in the Gilliland High School yearbook, or what are we?
No, that's buying the yearbook to keep for our records, and it's a buy one, and they also give us a complimentary one. So then the library has 2 copies of the yearbook for every
How did you know
year.
that?
Because I signed the check.
Just
Just a minute ago.
I was looking where the checks were, and I was like, oh man, this is nice. Someone else is signing them.
Very efficient.
That is the nice thing about this.
So that's
Oh,
in
I know,
our,
that's right. Okay.
Yeah, there's only a few that Margaret.
That's the
can
good thing
sign.
about signing the checks. You really like delve into it.
Like I know what that
Okay.
is.
so that's
next,
in our archive.
yeah.
Yes.
Local history, right.
Okay. Next is the committee assignments that I made. I tried to take into account everyone's input as best I could. So I hope people are happy. No one serves. A lot of people serve on 3 committees. Very few people only serve on 2. So I spread a lot of work around. I also added people to the design steering committee. This is because it's no longer going to be quite the design steering. It's going to be kind of an overview of the construction project. So I need this committee to be very vigilant and being on top of Roland and Mays, and just the construction as a whole. So I wanted more members on it so they can keep track of everything. And also the Building, Grounds, and Long Range Planning Committee has the planning long-range plan this year, so they can't really keep track of that. They're going to have their own hands full. So this year, every single committee chair is new. So we're kind of starting at a clean slate. So I'm going to have a little orientation with the committee chairs to talk about kind of expectations and kind of how we're going to move forward with scheduling meetings and communicating meetings. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then I think that's about it. Did anyone have any sort of problems or concerns with the assignment?
I think the bylaws may say that it gets approved in September meeting, not for
I looked through the bylaws. I didn't see that.
Okay.
But I can't say I fine-tooth combed it. But I did a lot of looking through the bylaws. In fact, several of you are not committee chairs anymore, and that's because you can only serve as 2 years. So I didn't realize that until Barbara mentioned it. So I had to suddenly today do some adjusting. So I thank the new chairs for stepping up. So if you were on chair and that's why you're not anymore, that's why. I thought I looked in the bylaws. I didn't see the September thing.
Could be wrong.
It's pretty rare though.
I like to
So
put it is give you time
Well,
to
it's good
say
to
what you
spread the
really want.
responsibility around and
Yes.
have different
Yeah.
people.
It might have said that I had to buy that.
that could be. Well, so I guess I'll. Is there a motion to accept the committees for 2019?
No.
What?
Jason's on 5. And I'm sure that's an oversight. But Jason's on 5 committees.
Don't worry, I got
Well, the nominating committee is only.
Yeah, an
that's
audit
before.
committee. An audit committee only meets once a year, so you're on 5 committees, but 2 of them,
Killing
one
it.
doesn't even meet, and the nominating just goes by phone calls, and audit meets once.
That's because we forgot to put them on 6 committees?
But having said that, I wanted someone on finance, also on audit. I'll take you off of audit if someone else on
I'm fine.
finance.
If they're not meeting that often, it's not a big deal.
They meet once a year.
Okay.
All right.
So if someone else on finance wants to go on audit, I'm okay with that change.
I just want to put it out there. I'm fine.
Just want to look out for him. Like, make sure that.
See her mama instincts.
Don't worry, don't worry. I spent a lot of time going over this.
I'm sure that you did. I just wanted to.
Way too much. but yeah.
You know,
ease
which
your
one am I
mind.
not on?
You don't have to go to Upper Hudson meetings or Foundation meetings.
It's not our policies.
Being a liaison is a lot more work, so don't worry. Yeah. Okay, so all right. So having said that, is there a motion to accept?
Make a motion to accept the committee proposal by the president.
I will second that.
Thank you, Jason. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, committees are adopted. Committee reports. I'm guessing under building and grounds, Tim wanted to do these items, because I know Jason probably doesn't know what they are. Did you want to
August
fill
is the
in,
new
or do
chairman,
you want
but I
to
have no
defer to Tim?
idea.
I can do the long-range plan expires the end of this year, so
Okay.
he just wanted to generate some awareness that, that committee will need to meet and start to, develop plans. I can send everyone a copy if they don't have it. Usually it's for about 3 years, and I know he wanted to focus on the exterior of the building a little bit more than we have in the past, but given the construction, I'm not sure about that. So that's where we are with that. We probably should start to schedule meetings, I want to say in September, in order to plan that document ahead, to be completed by the end of the year. There's a copy going around, right?
Margaret?
Beds can use some weeding.
Actually, that was just weeded this week. All the islands and all the staff parking lot.
Well, where?
Still more? Okay.
Margaret,
Yes, sir.
since I just got aware that I'm the new chair of that committee, I'm gonna meet with you and Tim in the very near future. Once he gets back and gets settled in, we can meet and go over it and see what I need to do and
Right.
what I need to review, and,
That's fine.
you know, then I can set up a meeting for the entire committee.
Sure.
Alright. You were a good choice as chair, I have a good feeling. Okay, so then,
Design steering, the only thing we have to mention, there's a tentative meeting on August 14th, and I believe the time is 6:30.
4:30.
4:30, sorry, thank you. I stand corrected. Sit corrected.
so committee members, be cognizant of that. If for some reason you can't make these meetings, let me know and I can switch you with someone who can. I guess I'm looking a lot at you, Jay, because I know 4:30 might be fine.
I will not be at that.
Well, no, so long as I have advance notice, I should be able to make
Oh,
it.
okay.
Those meetings don't have to be.
That's-
at 4:30,
that one or
that's
any
just
one?
how they-
That one I'll be in Greece.
Okay.
You get more vacation than anyone
So
I
yeah,
know.
and if you have a problem with your committee, let me know and I can switch people around. So, but yeah, design steering definitely. I gotta have you guys be on top of that. So, all right. Is that it for building and grounds? So then, finance and audit. We have a new chair. You probably don't really have anything to report.
Nope. We have a new treasurer. It's Chris Aldridge. We're really excited about that. And that is my report.
Personnel, labor management. You probably do have something.
Well, we are in negotiations with CSCA units 1 and 2. The negotiations
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
a little slow. We're making some progress, but it's painful. It can be painfully slow as the different offer or counter offer come through, and eventually, we will, I'm sure, come to some sort of an agreement on a contract.
Okay.
If there are any specific questions, it would be, they would have to be asked in executive session.
Well, I have a feeling we'll be discussing this a little bit in executive session for our last meeting, so we'll hold off for the rest. Policy, we have a new chair, which I have a very good feeling about. Don't worry, our library staff here was more than very up to date with the policies, so they'll be able to help you through it. You'll be great. Okay, UHLS.
You have the report that I presented to the annual meeting, and that is my report from the UHLS for this meeting also.
In foundation, Chris, do you ever go to a foundation meeting, or is it always too difficult with?
They start a little bit earlier before, so I did go to the beginning of it before, but we're changing to 6:30 and it's not going to be on the same date. It would be impossible.
Yeah.
But
Right. Yeah, I don't know how to.
I used to get a lot of it in
Yeah.
45 minutes.
I'm hopeful that if we can kind of move the date around, we maybe get, I put Mike as the new liaison, and so hopefully he'll be able to go to whole meetings and,
Is he at the foundation meeting today?
no, I think he's on vacation. I don't know. He told me he wasn't going to be here.
Oh.
He's on vacation.
All right. Staff and directors report.
Tim's not here, as you know. I sent around an email with the details. In case you didn't get it, let me know and I will send it around again. Jenna is passing around a contact sheet for the board members. If you would just check it over and update any information that you see fit or want to change, that would be great. For the new trustees, Upper Hudson schedules trustee training sometime in September. I checked their calendar today and it's not listed yet, so as soon as I have a date, I'll let you know. The other alternative we have is if you can't make the September training, we can ask to have one conducted here. So whichever is convenient, we'll work that out. And I'm just gonna make the shortest director's report ever because Tim isn't here. So there, done.
All right, good.
Should do it more often.
Peter, did I hear you
Yeah, I'll
made the
make a motion to
motion?
accept the directors.
Is there a second?
I second.
Seconded by Nairine. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
All right, so that was both for May and
Adopted.
June.
Yes.
All right, new business, Friday closing time.
Friday closing time coincides with the request for setting the calendar for the calendar year of 2020. And the summers, July and August, we're requesting that we close on Friday evenings at 6 p.m. And that's a change. We usually close at 7.
And is it just so dead that there's just not really need to be open?
It's not exactly dead, but in the past we closed at 6, and then when we switched the hours to 7, we made it consistent, but now we think it should switch back.
Would we get any savings with personnel? Because employees won't be working as long?
They're usually, the schedule for that would be 10 to 6 instead of 11 to 7, so there's really no savings, because we do need somebody to cover that hour between 5 and 6. Oh, Barbara. Sorry.
Okay, so is there any discussion on this?
Do we have any statistics on the number of users between 6 and 7?
I have,
We've had those in the past.
Yeah, definitely remember.
okay, the Circ stats. The foot traffic from 5 to 6 is 103 people. From 6 to 7, it's 57.
Is-
By
By foot traffic, you mean people coming in?
Correct.
Okay.
Reference transactions, there were 12 adult and 13 youth for the entire evening.
From the entire, so from 5 to 7?
So that would be 5 to
or-
7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kathy?
I was just wondering if that would confuse people at all, because other than being closed on Sunday, it looks like the hours are the same in the summer and the fall.
Mhm.
So if people are expecting the library to be open till 7, and they come at 6:30, will that confuse people at all? I mean, just changing 1 hour on one day, as opposed to, I mean, like you're closed all day Sunday in the summer, but other than that, it looks like your hours are the same. So that was just my question.
I believe in the past, we closed at 6.
We did.
Every summer.
Yeah.
So I think the residents are used to that
Yeah.
this year. We just kept open 7 to make it the same.
Mhm. And we do, as I said, this is for 2020, so it's not without fair notice to the public, that they'll be aware if there is a change, if you decide to institute a change.
The next summer.
Right, it's not this summer, it's next summer.
because it's not till next summer, and there seems to be some reservation, do we just wanna mull it for a month? Does that sound like, that way you can think about it, talk to Tim, or do we wanna vote on this tonight? Or do most of you not care?
Oh, we table it.
Vote on it tonight.
You want to discuss?
What's that?
Vote on it tonight.
Wanna vote on it tonight? Alright, so it's there, it looks like you got a lot on your mind now.
No, I'm
See,
just-
the wheels are turning.
Because that seems to be the only change besides Sunday, like Kathy was saying. And, I mean, I'm not sure what the benefit of it is.
I guess that would be my only question would be, I guess we're not saving any money, do we feel as, I guess the staff must, they wouldn't have presented it, but, you know, is there a feeling that there's so few people it would make sense?
Yes, I think that's the
Okay.
case.
Is foot traffic higher on Friday during the normal year and just lower in the summer?
Our busiest day of the week is Sunday.
Okay.
Busiest in terms of number of people.
Mm-hmm.
So Sunday, when we're only open a few hours, is the busiest?
Sure.
Have we ever thought about expanding the Sunday hours? Then?
Contract,
That's not on the table right now.
that would be contract negotiation.
Yeah.
Oh, good thing you're in negotiations right now.
Okay. I mean, so to expand the hours, it's a contract, but to decrease the hours, it's not?
No, we have the, I believe we have the prerogative of setting the hours.
You do.
Yeah, that's not by contract. We have the prerogative.
So we could lengthen the Sunday hours? And
Well,
it-
the
There's a
problem
cost
with that,
factor in that.
But if it's the
that's been discussed.
busiest day of the week, and we're only open, what, 1 to 5?
the problem is there are wage differentials for Sunday,
Time
and it
and a half.
creates all sorts
Oh,
of
okay.
accounting problems.
I'd be interested in seeing more detailed statistics then of maybe each day. I mean, I don't know what kind of statistics we're able to obtain.
We can
but
do foot traffic, we can do circulation, and we can do reference questions.
Can we do like each hour
Yes.
of each day?
Yes?
I'd like to,
Yeah, I'd like that too. We've had that in the past.
Okay.
I think I would like that too before, I know
For
you
what-
wanna vote on it.
For what time frame?
For,
So maybe summer months versus a couple of random months that aren't summer.
Okay.
Just to compare the hours.
Sure.
oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I guess my gut impulse right now, when you're not saving any money and you're cutting service hours, why not maintain the service hours? But statistics might help.
Yeah, I guess let's get the statistics. You know, obviously, I like to defer to the staff, but, you know, in this case, I think it would be easier if I saw the numbers in front of us.
Is there a change in utilities usage for that 1 hour that's going to be a cost savings in the summer?
The new system allows us to turn it off, yes, or turn it down rather, not totally off. so
And
that you
lights
would
also
same.
would be off?
Yep. Mhm.
So it would save an hour of utilities when it's peak utilities?
Correct.
So that's something to consider besides personnel.
I'd also like to throw out there, we just had the community approve a major bond, and now we're turning right around and saying, thanks for that, and oh, by the way, we're cutting the hours.
We've always done this. This is not something that's brand new. This is.
I don't think the
Yeah,
two
we
have
always like
anything
to
do with
look
each
at the
other.
hours to see what is the best time, and like that's why we recently started opening at 9:30 because we're like, all right, let's try. We always like to address or
Yeah.
look at what are the best times, and I think it's smart to always look at it. But I think in this case, definitely statistics would be helpful. Well, unless there's a strong motion or feeling otherwise, I think I'd like to see us tabled.
Sure.
We can kind of take this up next week or next month. Or do we meet next
September.
month?
No,
September.
there's no August meeting,
All right.
September.
Even better. September. So lots of time to think about it. So, board meeting schedule, which I believe. Oh, I
Again,
talked about that. I talked about in our other meeting. That's about
tabling
yeah.
again.
I'm gonna send around a doodle poll to everyone with both times and days. Obviously, if you cannot make 6:30 and it's very difficult, email that to me. If you cannot make a certain day, email that to me. If it's just difficult or that's different. But yeah, do the doodle poll. We'll take a look at it, and I'll kind of present what the results of the doodle poll at the next meeting, and we can kind of make a decision. Yes.
You send the poll to me as well.
Yes, I can. I can send it to you. Okay.
So do we have a September meeting scheduled at this point, or that will be?
Yeah. No. It's
Yes.
September meeting is going to be its normal time. What is it? Third Thursday.
The third Thursday, the
Yeah.
19th?
Yes. Yeah. So that's already scheduled.
So
But
it'll be
after
the
that, we
19th.
may be making adjustments.
Yeah, third Thursday.
Okay. So next is the holiday calendar. Are there any changes to the holiday calendar?
The only difference is in the way the 4th of July falls in 2020. The 4th of July falls on a Saturday. We are closed on Sundays during July and August, so that means we would be closed on Saturday as well as Sunday. And I went back in the calendar and looked at July 3rd. The last time this happened was 2015. And we closed on the Friday and observed the holiday all together on that Friday. So the proposal is to observe the 4th of July on Friday and close on Saturday.
And this is a contracted holiday that would be on
Yes,
Friday.
it is in the contract.
Okay,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't be a floater or anything like that?
We try to shy away from floaters as much as possible. It makes it easier when we can take it all at once. And that's the only difference.
And that is how the state employees will observe the holiday as well, so it's on par with what everyone else is doing.
Someone who said that was a question. Are you saying
Yeah.
that like as a fact?
No, that is.
Okay.
I mean,
Alright.
I haven't looked that far in my vacation schedule for next year, but
Okay.
I'm pretty familiar with the policy that's how that would go.
All right.
If it falls on a Sunday, they take it Monday. If it falls on Saturday, they take it Friday.
Yeah.
If not, you
So we would
have
be
to do that
open on
weird thing
Friday,
where you get.
on Saturday.
What?
We'd be open on Saturday?
No. You're open on the 4th of July? No, that's contractual.
So then why would we close on Friday then? If-
Because the holiday is observed on the Friday.
But our contract says they have July 4th off.
Not everybody works on Saturday. You're talking about a minimum number of employees. Most people work Monday through Friday. So what are you gonna do for the people who work Monday through Friday? They still deserve a holiday.
So they wouldn't just get paid for the holiday?
No. Well,
So they're gonna
actually,
get-
that's an option you can have, but
You could pay them double time, I guess.
That would make sense.
Rather just.
So that they're going to have, we're going to pay them for Friday and Saturday?
nope,
No, because just the
No.
Friday.
just
So
the Friday.
if
So the people that work Saturday, they're not getting
Right.
paid. Oh, okay.
So the people that work Saturday get paid just for Saturday?
They're not gonna be
I'm-
scheduled on Saturday. No one is scheduled on that Saturday
Or Sunday.
or Sunday,
Okay, I know we're closed Sundays,
right?
so then,
So the 4th of July is a holiday, the library has decided to close, therefore, do not schedule anyone to work that day.
so people are going to get paid for Friday,
Right,
but they're not going to get paid for Saturday?
correct.
Because we're observing it.
It's actually, it's the same, because all full-time employees would get paid for the holiday. So whether they get paid for Friday not be there, or for Saturday not be there, it's the same amount of money. Part-time people don't get paid
Right.
for the holiday. So we'd be saving Friday part-timers and Saturday part-timers salaries. Full-timers are gonna get paid for all this.
You'd be adding a day's salary otherwise.
Okay, all right, any more questions, thoughts? All right, motion to approve the 2020 holiday and closings calendar. Motion by Caitlin,
Second.
second by Jason. All those in favor? Opposed? All right, it's adopted. Photocopy cost.
The next item on the agenda is photocopy cost, and we've had a request to drop the prices. Let's see. I have some emails. I don't think I have.
What are the current prices?
25 cents and 50 cents.
25 cents and 50 cents.
50 cents is color?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
Oh, that's expensive, yeah.
That does seem pretty expensive.
What's,
Yes.
what's the cost to us?
Oh,
Sean, cost to us, Carol?
I want to say like 7 cents or 3 cents.
Something like that.
Okay.
Some of the remarks from librarians are, I've had 2 patrons recently comment about how expensive our printing is, so I did some digging. It seems that Voorheesville, Bethlehem, Albany Colony are all 10 cents for black and white. If we could afford it, it would be be worth it to reduce our charges. Though 20% is a small cost of some, we're charging double what our neighbors charge. Color printing, on the other hand, is all over the place. Some are 50 cents, some are 25, some are 15. Guilderland is 50, and that seems high. So basically, they're just asking to bring it in line with what the area libraries do.
I definitely have no problem reducing the
Black and white.
black and white, yeah.
Okay.
We're right next door to a printing company, and I'm sure they charge a lot less.
I'm sorry?
We're right next door to a printing company, aren't we? There's a Gilderland Printers right down the block.
Yes. Mhm.
I'm sure they could tell you digital print, nickel and a dime, it's not
Right.
20, 25 cents.
They're actually not that much cheaper unless you're doing bulk.
Yeah,
If you just win like a couple copies.
it's not really like a king
Uh,
Yeah.
If they went to
We recommend
Staples,
10 cents
the
for black
color
and white,
copies are expensive. They're
25
good.
for color, or we
Well,
can
it's-
even go to
yeah.
20 for color.
Is
So-
there a number request, or is it just a request in general? Did they-
Just a drop.
Okay. I mean, I certainly have no problem dropping the black and white. I guess the color, I would like to think about more.
Color prints aren't cheap.
Yeah, no, they're not. It's not at all. How much, and I hate to say this, but like, how much revenue do we get from this? Is there,
Quite a bit.
oh, really?
Last year, we got 10,000.
Oh, wow.
Has profit on
They're
it?
like,
I don't know if that's profit.
That's not profitable, it's just
Yeah.
That's just revenue.
That's just revenue, so that's not the expense.
I'd hate to reduce the color and like blow a hole in,
In the budget.
I mean, or even probably reducing the black and white's gonna, hurt the budget a little bit, but.
Right, can't we just wait until we get the actual cost to us, and then at the next meeting, we can?
Is that even a number that you could even provide, like a cost?
Well, it's a lot of different factors that are,
Yeah.
there's, the leasing of the equipment, then you have the paper, and so.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So
included.
it is leased.
It is.
Yeah.
leased.
So is there a per click charge on it?
Yes.
Okay. So that's probably for the nickel or whatever. Okay.
It's leased, so we don't pay for the towing, we only pay for the print and the paper.
Right. So you can find out pretty quickly what we paid.
Yeah,
Lease
exactly.
company for each copy.
Yeah.
There's
Alright.
no immediate rush.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can
then
wait
I would
to
say, let's,
Let's get
is there, can I
information on
punt
it.
this to a
Yeah,
committee?
sure.
Is that an option? I love doing that. I don't know about,
Committee.
what committee?
There are other libraries who have gotten printing,
See, they're finance and building and grounds.
services from the
Finance?
upper
Alright, Caitlin, you have your
Hudson,
first
so they
assignment.
don't have.
Definitely not building,
Finance.
it's definitely not building and grounds.
Yeah, I think it's like in the building, but I guess you're right. It's, all right, so I'm gonna punt this to finance, work with Sean, kind of
Is
come
it,
up with the numbers.
is it supposed to be like a profit center for us, or is it more of a service we're trying to provide?
I would say service. I would say service. Quite honestly, like the taxpayers pay for
Yeah.
this, but I guess my always concern is I hate just to give stuff away for free. But yeah, I'm not.
Right.
We're not looking to make money.
Just
from
wanna
this.
cover
I mean,
our costs.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
if we get it down closer to our costs, with the
Yeah.
caveat that we don't want color print to be so cheap that everybody for miles around comes in to just line up and print
Right.
color,
Agree.
that's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
a better way to do it, yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, work with Sean, see if you can get, I know it's not gonna be exact or easy to get, you know, a cost per page or whatever, but yeah, try to work with Sean and.
We'll
get
make
it
a
rolling.
recommendation.
Perfect. All right, so then, Huntington Committee. Okay, opening late, staff training.
I can give you partial information on this. We are trying to schedule for the staff some diversity training with an outside speaker. Tim is the liaison with this speaker. I don't even know who the contact is, but they're trying to schedule some training for a morning in September. I do not have the dates, but I know it's either a Tuesday, a Wednesday, or a Thursday morning. And Tim is looking for permission to delay opening from 9:30 to 10 a.m. to complete the training for the staff.
Seems like a fairly reasonable request. Any concerns? All right, so then will be a motion to allow Tim to delay opening the library until 10 a.m. one day of his choosing.
Well, we will publicize that as soon as we coordinate it with the speaker. Thank you.
So,
Moved by Barbara, seconded by Phil. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, adopted. Old business, I don't believe we have anything. So, minutes of the last meeting. I'm sure you all looked over these closely. I believe whoever wasn't here, so there's a couple, especially new people, are not have to abstain from this. Do we have enough to approve this?
I don't think you're gonna have enough. Noreen, myself, Jason, Kathy, Phil, are all gonna have to abstain.
We had a bare quorum.
Oh, this is, May, when I was in,
Yeah.
that's right, those were.
Yeah, we have,
Well,
we've got 5.
Yeah.
My only concern is, would we ever, I guess we will, but everyone, all these people would have to show up. We could only ever do it if all these
If
people
Mike
showed
was
up.
here,
Well, if the if the people who were absent, there's nothing absolute
Oh,
that they
yeah,
have
you're right.
to-
Abstentions don't count against it, right? Yeah, you're right, you're right.
Right.
Abstentions don't count against it, so it's fine. Yeah, it's all right, so we can still approve it.
Great.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes, the regular board meeting, May 16th, 2019.
Second.
Seconded by Herb, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, adopted. So, is there a motion to enter into
I'd like to make that motion.
executive session? Seconded by Nareen, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Who's got check? Wait.
You got on the record for a second then, or no?
Yep.
There's an issue in
Got like